Satana, deceased. Real name, Satana Hellstrom. Occupation, succubus. Identity, Satana was not known by the general public to have demonic parentage. Legal status, American citizen with no criminal record. Other aliases, the Devil's Daughter, Judith Cambers. Place of birth, Greentown, Massachusetts. Place of death, New York City. Known relatives, Satan, father, Victoria, mother, deceased, Damon, alias son of Satan, brother. Group affiliation, none. First appearance, Vampire Tales number 2. Final appearance, Marvel Team-Up number 81. History. Over 2 decades ago, a demon who called himself Satan after the legendary embodiment of evil came to Earth in the guise of a human, intent upon fathering children who would be half demon and half human. He therefore seduced a lonely and naive young woman named Victoria Wingate and married her shortly thereafter. Their son, Damon, was born within a year, and their daughter, Satana, was born 3 years after Damon. Victoria never suspected the truth about her husband, and even ascribed the unusual names he gave their children to mere eccentricity. However, once, when Satana was still a child, Victoria discovered her husband and Satana performing a black magic ritual in the basement of their New England mansion. Her husband said that the time had come for Victoria to know the truth, as Satana already did, and transformed into demonic form before her eyes, calling himself Satan. Victoria Hellstrom went mad upon witnessing her husband's transformation and died soon afterwards. Damon was placed in an orphanage, and Satan took Satana to his hell-like extra-dimensional realm where he schooled her in the use of her demonic powers, some of which she had inherited from him, others of which he granted her. He caused her to be possessed by a powerful demon called the Basilisk. Satana remained in full control of her mind and body, however, and the Basilisk had to do her bidding when she released it from her body. However, she became aware after leaving Satan's realm that the more she used the Basilisk to serve her ends, the stronger it grew, and that it might one day turn against her. Satan also turned Satana into a succubus, able to draw a human spirit from its body and absorb its psychic energy. After Satana reached adulthood, Satan decided to test his daughter's loyalty. Acting in the guise of a human named Miles Gorney, supposedly the leader of a mystic cabal called the Four, Satan drove Satana to Earth, where she discovered that her succubus power had given her an addiction like a vampire's. She now had to absorb the psychic energy of human spirits she had removed from their bodies in order to survive. Eventually, after Satana had long struggled against her supposed enemies, Satan revealed that he was Gorney and had been behind Satana's troubles. He then ordered Satana to use her succubus power to seize the soul of the dying former priest Michael Heron, who had once saved her life and whom she regarded as a friend. Satana refused to obey Satan's order and, when Heron died a moment later, allowed his spirit to travel where it was intended to go. Furious, Satan disowned Satana, exiled her from his realm, and vowed to kill her if they ever met again. Satana spent the following years learning about the world of humans and coming to value the friendships she made with human beings. During this time, she also battled heroically against agents of the demonic race known as the Nagarai. Finally, Satana learned that the Earth Dimension's Sorcerer Supreme, Dr. Stephen Strange, had been transformed into a werewolf as a result of having to use the Shiatra Book of the Damned, a volume of black magic, in order to save his then-lover Clea from his enemy, Silver Dagger. Satana knew that it was necessary to cure Strange for the good of the Earth she had come to value so highly, even though she also knew that to do so she would have to sacrifice her own life. While Strange's physical form was that of a werewolf, his spirit form, or consciousness, was held prisoner by demons in an astral realm. Satana therefore cast a spell that projected her spirit into that astral realm, where she found that she had to unleash the basilisk to drive off the demons so that she could reach Strange's soul. She freed Strange's soul, but then a demon thrust a mystical weapon into her own spirit, thereby causing her body on Earth to become mortally wounded. The basilisk then turned upon her, but it died as her physical body did back on Earth. Dr. Strange, now freed of the werewolf curse, eulogized Satana as a hero. Her spirit's fate is unknown, but it is not in Satan's realm. Height, 5 feet 7.5 inches. Weight, 120 pounds. Eyes, black with red highlights. Hair, red. Powers. The full range of Satana's powers remains unknown. She was capable of casting spells, but the limits of her ability in this area are unknown. She could levitate herself off the ground, but apparently could not fly. Satana also possessed the power of a succubus. A succubus is a being that extracts human souls and feeds on their psychic energies. On Earth, Satana had, at least at first, to extract and feed upon the psychic energy of souls in this way in order to survive. It is not known exactly how many days Satana could go without thus feeding. To take the souls of men to feed upon, she would usually kiss her victim as she drew forth his soul, causing his body to shrivel horribly as he died. The soul would take the visible, at least to Satana, form of a butterfly-like being, which Satana grasped with her fingers. She would then crush the butterfly form, seemingly causing it to disintegrate, but actually absorbing the soul's energy. The fate of the victim's consciousness is unknown. Possibly, Satana lost her need to use her succubus ability to survive only after she was disowned by Satan. Satana contained within her spirit a demon of immense but undefined powers called the basilisk, which she could set free to do her bidding and then cause to return into herself. Satana could project bolts of soul fire of the same intensity as those used by her brother. See, son of Satan. Satana had the ability to psionically control the minds of ordinary humans, although the limits of this ability are unknown. Satana also had superhuman strength, although again, its limits were never established.